Welcome to the Tower Couch Podcast. I'm your host, Mitch, and as always, we have my co-host, Mike.
Yo!
Like us, whatever, love us, write something down in the description in the comments sections of your Spotify's and your iTunes. 5-star us, like us, share us, do all that stuff that I hate saying at the beginning of every episode. But my favorite thing, what I don't hate saying, is that we do have a Discord link in the description of the show. So you should hit that and come have fun with us. Somebody's always in here. It's always going to be me, Mike, or Brandon. So, somebody will be here. Come check it out. How you been doing, Mike?
Oh, pretty good. And then my cat decided to force itself into my lap and dig into my leg.
Nice. We were supposed to be doing Gantz Part 2 for the anime. Well, I'm on vacation, and I didn't really think about stuff like that. So I messed up, and I called Mike and some friends to come over, and we watched the D&D movie Honor Among Thieves back from 2023 to do an episode for this show. So we could still get something out for you. See the dedication? I think so. I think you see it. Our lovely listeners. Yeah, it was really fun. Did you like it, Mike?
I hardly noticed it was a 2.25-hour movie.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that long of a movie. I was starting to pass out though at one point because what we did was we had a big friendly get-together and had some drinks, and then we watched this movie like right after everybody left. My neighbor eventually showed up. She was like super drunk. That was fun. And we watched the movie, and then I passed the fuck out, and so did everybody else. So yeah, that's what we did. We were gonna do Kirby 64 also. We were gonna do a episode recording for that as well to keep in the backlog, but I realized because tomorrow's Easter, I don't have time for all that. So, but Kirby 64 is still fun as shit every time we play it.
We're getting close.
What is it?
We're getting through it.
Yeah.
We are trying to collect all of the crystal shards because Mitch has never fully beat a Kirby game, except for maybe the first one.
Yeah, no.
You didn't do that.
Well, like, I've beaten Kirby games to the credits, but apparently, from what Mike says, is every Kirby game, because it does have a collectible in pretty much every single one of them, if you collect all of them, you always fight a secret boss. And I've never done that. So.
Yeah, they're always crazy.
Yeah, so I'm like super pumped for that shit. Yeah, we did that. I went over to Becca's house for a party for a little bit earlier today. Drank like 1 billion different beers. So that was fun. Yeah, we were just chilling. It's been a good vacation. It really has. But, I do want to talk about something that just released yesterday. After the recording of this episode. The Lunar Collection. The Lunar Remaster Collection. PS1 games. Lunar, the Silver Star Story came out in 1996. And Lunar, the Eternal Blue. I don't know the date, but just saying the series started in 96 on the PS1. And it got a remaster. It's pretty fucking sweet. I played it for a couple hours today after I left the party. And, Mike, this is what I wanted to tell you about. This is why you would love this game. So you know how 90s anime looks. Like Golden Boy and shit like that. Okay.
Yeah.
All the cutscenes are like an anime movie. And when you start the game, you get an intro song and video. Just like an anime show. And it's really awesome. And all the dialogue. So, like, you could talk to somebody. So you have your party, right? Your party of people. It's a JRPG. So you have your party. But you see your whole party while you're walking. It's one of those ones. And you can talk to any NPC in the world. And whoever's in your party will have unique dialogue for that other NPC. And it's usually them making fun of them. Yeah, it's pretty sick. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of funny dialogue where, like, at the beginning, you see this dragon. He's like, "Why are you guys coming here to collect a dragon diamond? Don't you guys realize it's just made up of my sh?" And it stops at SH and then goes ... Oh, what doesn't even fucking matter? It doesn't even matter. And like, there's like the leather, what is it? Leather armor or something like that.
Yeah.
In the equipment screen. Whenever you go to buy it, its description is kinky but protective. And like, a longsword size really, in all caps, does matter.
Yeah, you shared those to the group chat. I've seen them.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This game, the way I'm playing this game, and it gives me this almost the same feeling as I did when I played Chained Echoes, and I'm like super into it. So I can't wait to see what this leads to. Because there's another Lunar game on the DS, but they didn't include it. They just did the PS1 games. So, and the developer did limited runs, not limited runs, but like limited product.
Okay.
And so all the scalpers and resellers bought up all the copies. So when it came out yesterday for $50, scalpers are already trying to run it at $169, $130, like crazy shit like that. And
yeah. Was it popular or something?
Well, oh yeah, Lunar was like a big fucking deal. So like, I had the 2 original games, and they come in these big box sets, and they come with like a map and like these pop-up characters to put on the map, and like a pendant necklace, and like music soundtrack CDs, shit like that. And they're like double disced, and on the inside they have like Velcro strap and shit together, and like it looks like a film from an anime show. And there's cards.
Huh.
Yeah, dude, they're crazy. They're like, back when I bought them last, they were like $200 for each one. Yeah. So like,
did you ever get any of the Nintendo comic books that they made, like the ones for I forget which game for Legend of Zelda, and then there's Metroid ones.
I know there are actual like literary books. Like,
yeah.
Of like, I think it goes up to Twilight Princess. Like, there's Ocarina of Time, Ages, Seasons, Twilight Princess, and
they're just like retellings, or telling of the story in like written word form.
Yeah, basically they're like books of those same exact games, but more like detailed, I guess. But there's a podcast that actually reads them, and it's fun to listen to. But yeah, they're pretty fucking crazy, dude. They're not really like they are like the games, but it's just like super detailed and like you said, like a retelling. So yeah.
Okay.
But
yeah, the Metroid one has like a lot of lore to it and shit. I think some of it might not be canonical, but like some of it is, and they used it in like Dread and stuff.
Yeah. I think it is weird though, like how we were just talking about the video game. Like the story, like the book, seems to have way more detail than when I played the game. And I think that's crazy because then whenever you like see a movie coming from a book, it's like, oh, you left all the details from out of the book. But like then you have the case of, don't get me wrong, the Witcher book series is extremely detailed, but the game itself, The Witcher 3, like if you play everything in that fucking game, there is just so much that I don't know, it goes right up with the book. Like there's just so much fucking lore and shit. Like granted, he isn't real, like he is Geralt, but like you're playing him, so it's technically not really Geralt from the book, you know?
Yeah, you don't. That doesn't like railroad you to being like everything that he is or doing everything he does.
Yeah, no, but like that's what I'm saying. I just think it's crazy all the comparisons from like movie to book, book to game, game to book, like shit like that. How like weird it all like translates. It's pretty neat.
Yeah. The book, you have to like describe a lot of things that you wouldn't have to in a video game. And I don't know, video game trying to be like real life so it doesn't like stitch together everything. It gives you more like clues and hints and then shows you the thing.
Yeah. These also have the Zelda ones. They have like just stories of him and of Link and Saria going out and just like doing some random adventure.
Yeah. I was thinking the book for. Well, the last one I see or heard of was the book for Majora's Mask.
What about it?
There's like a prequel about Skull Kid and Navi and like what they did before the game and like the setup of the world of whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's like shit like that. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. But yeah, that's pretty
How much do those cost? You know, they expensive?
Last I saw they were like $30 a piece or like $20 a piece. But that was a while ago, so I don't know. But I have a few of them. So
I want this Metroid one.
I don't have any Metroid, but I do have like the Zelda ones. I have like half of the collection, I think. So
half?
Yeah, I have I think Ocarina, Seasons and Ages, and I know there's a Twilight Princess and like a couple other ones. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure there's 6 books. 6 or 7. So and they're not like super thick books either. Like they're not magazine sized, like not even like thick magazine sized. They're like half a book maybe.
See, I thought they were more like comic books.
No, they're actual like books. Well, they look like magazines, but they're like big magazine books.
Huh.
Like, you know how the strategy guide looks? Like a big strategy guide?
Yeah.
Okay, it's like that size.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had speaking of strategy guides, which I think is a lost art, along with the
right.
manuals. I had a really badass one for BioShock that was like a hardback book.
They still make strategy guides. They just don't sell them in stores. Yep. But, well, it's weird you said that because I was in like one of my retro game groups and somebody was talking about strategy guides. It's like, yeah, it sucks they don't make it anymore. He's like, they do make them. They 100% still make those. You can go get them. So, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know where, but I mean, it's just like books. They still make books.
Yeah, but it's like harder to find a strategy guide that's like viable than it is to find just a strategy guide in general. You know, you just type in on the computer or you're on your phone and you get Reddit or you get FAQs or whatever.
Yeah, I get it. It just feels like nobody reads normal books anymore either. So that's how because I think about that sometimes too. Like, how are books still a thing?
Yeah. You do audiobooks a lot.
Yeah, I love audiobooks because I can just work and listen to a story. And then the day goes, whoop, gone. The problem is, books are not super long compared to hours you have to work. That is the thing. Like,
you could do it. That's like 20 hours.
Well, a 20-hour book only lasts me 2 to 3 days.
You just watch it again.
No. I can't tell you how many times I've listened to the Harry Potter books, though. Or the Witcher books.
About Huckleberry Finn.
I only needed to hear it once. No, Huckleberry Finn was actually cool. So I want to. You want to know what I want to listen to? Is what is it? Hatchet.
Nice.
Yeah, I remember.
The one where the kid gets stranded in like British Columbia or some shit, Nova Scotia maybe.
Yeah, and he's just like out there. Yeah, I remember we did that for school, and I really liked that book. That was crazy.
Yeah, me too. So. I think they made a movie.
I think they did too, but they also had another book that was. It was called Brian's Story or some shit like that, and like it's everything that would have happened if he didn't make it out or some shit.
Huh.
I don't know. Or if he didn't make it out by winter. Is it?
Ah.
Yeah. So that's pretty intense.
It'd be funny. They get the kid home and they're like, "Oh, this could make a book." They're like, "What about a sequel?" And then they just drop him off there, kick him out of the plane.
It's like, do it again.
Yeah.
Make me money.
Do you have any idea how much that plane cost?
We gotta re-up. Alright. You ready to talk about Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves?
Let's go.
Alright, let me pull this information up. Alright. Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves is a 2023 PG-13 film at 2 hours and 14 minutes. A charming thief and a band of unlikely adventurers embark on an epic quest to retrieve a lost relic, but things go dangerously awry when they run afoul of the wrong people. There are too many vocabulary words in there for for the fact that was just one sentence. You know what I mean?
You're fine.
I'm just saying. I was not expecting that when I read it. Our top cast, we got Chris Pine, who in my opinion makes this whole movie.
Who's Chris Pine? He's the main character.
Yeah. He's the bard. Which they make a joke about in the film, basically, of bards being quote-unquote cheerleaders, essentially.
He makes the plans.
Yeah. He is Edgin. Michelle Rodriguez plays Holga. That's another big name. Reggie-Jean Page. He plays Zenek, our paladin. Justice Smith plays Simon. Listen, people talk shit about the Smiths anymore. Justice isn't a fuck-up in this one. Just so we know. Sophia Lillis plays Doric. Hugh Grant, the legendary Hugh Grant, plays Forge. Chloe Coleman plays Kira. Daisy Head plays Sophina. Kyle Hickson plays Guard. And Spencer Wilding plays Gorge. It's basically all you really need to know about all this.
I had no idea that was Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah, she's always plays she's the action movie girl of the early 2000s plus, I guess.
Every time I think of her, I think of how she looked in Fast and Furious and
right,
the first Resident Evil movie. Where she's just tiny.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Why is Chris Pine short?
He definitely looks like he'd be short. Pretty short. So, I don't know. But if, here's a more descriptive thing of it. It's a 2023 fantasy heist comedy film directed by Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly, who co-wrote the screenplay with Michael Giglio from a story by Chris McKay and Giglio. Based on the tabletop role-playing game Dungeons & Dragons, it's set in the Forgotten Realms campaign setting and has no connections to the previous film trilogy released between 2000 and 2012. So, there you go.
That was one.
Yeah, we need to watch those now.
I've watched them.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I had no idea they were D&D movies.
Huh. Okay, then.
One of them is hilarious. The CGI is overused for how terrible it is. The villain, one of his minions, fails him and he, plants this curse on him. And he, has these, things. He has these things that, come out of his ears. And I don't know what the fuck I forget what the fuck they do, but he has blue I think he has blue sparkly lipstick on, and he's just this bald guy. Looks like the Mummy.
Oh, Jesus. Oh wait, that the Scorpion King dude or whatever? Or
no, the actor that played the Mummy.
Oh, the bald dude. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves had its world premiere at South by Southwest on March 10th, 2023, and was released in the United States on March 31st by Paramount. The film received positive reviews from critics, with praise for the performances of the cast, the direction, visual effects. We'll talk about that one. Writing, score, humor, and 10. It grossed $208.2 million worldwide on a budget of $150 million. So we came out on top, making it a box office disappointment. I mean, dude, you're in the positives. You know what I mean?
I forget how. Because I think for the budget, they don't include marketing. The marketing is like almost as big as the budget. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, I didn't know that. Do you want to do a plot, or do you want to do reviews first?
I had the plot, but I went away from it.
I have the plot.
Where'd it go? Nice.
You want me to do the plot, or do you want to do the plot?
You can do it if you wish.
Okay.
No, it's like pop-ups.
Alright, we'll just chime in on whatever we want to talk about throughout this thing. Alright, plot. Prior to imprisonment, Bard Ejin Darvis served in the Harpers, an order of peacekeepers, until his wife was killed by disciples of a red wizard he arrested. Yeah, it's basically a montage where he's like had this purpose, this like perfect life, and we didn't have much, but I was the hero, and my wife loved me. And then she got killed because he's a cop, basically. I mean, that's basically kind of the best way to say that, I would think.
No, he like stole gold from him or some shit, and they found out, and he went and killed, or they came for him, and he wasn't home, and his wife was.
He stole gold from the Red Wizard?
Yeah.
Well,
I remember that scene specifically, because he was like, I didn't know they marked their treasure or whatever, so they like found him.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that is weird. Accompanied by barbarian Holga Kilgore. By the way, Chris Pine, Ejin Darvis, I think he makes a movie. What do you think, Mike?
I like Michelle Rodriguez's acting a lot, and Sorcerer was cool.
Smith? He's the dude with
like the incompetent sorcerer with a little was that little gearbox thing that he had?
No, Justice Smith. The one with the staff. He got the staff down in like the lava place. Is that who you're
No, it was the guy who was like wore the helmet and wasn't confident or whatever.
Yeah, that's him. That's who I'm talking about.
Okay. I remember finding the staff.
Yeah, he got that staff where he could like teleport people.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was really confused. I was like, how do you not know? Like what? Accompanied by barbarian Holga Kilgore, Ejin attempted to make a new life for himself and his daughter Kira by turning to theft. Teaming with amateur sorcerer Simon Ogmar, that's Justice Smith, rogue con artist Forge Philowitsum, and Forge's mysterious acquaintance Sophina, while raiding a Harper stronghold. Ejin attempted to steal a tablet of reawakening to resurrect his wife, but he and Holga were captured through their accomplices escaped. Yep.
Yeah, she like stopped time or some shit, and they got caught in it. And he gave it to the con man and told him to take care of his daughter.
Yeah. Forge Kitzwilliam, that is Hugh Grant, plays the role. Excellent. I love his acting in that. Oh no, he's kind of like, Hugh Grant is kind of like, not as, he's like diet, Jeff Goldblum, to me. He's like not as like intensely like, I don't know what word to use for that. Sarcastic.
But I think Jeff Goldblum used to be a good actor, and then like he got comfortable, and everybody's like, "Yeah, I like Jeff Goldblum, so I don't care that he's Jeff Goldblum like all the time now."
He's just Jeff Goldblum is just Jeff Goldblum's Ryan Reynolds. He just plays himself. You know what I mean? Well, like,
Yeah.
hold on. Let's talk about this for a second. Hold on. So, like, is it okay if Ryan Reynolds plays as Ryan Reynolds, but Jeff Goldblum doesn't play as Jeff Goldblum? Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's just weird that you're always this person. Like, you're supposed to be an actor. Like, if you're just doing the same thing over and over again, are you really acting?
Right. And I think it's weird, too, because I've seen those actors go completely outside of that before and fucking crush it. Like, super crush it. Where, like, why do you always, it's like you just said, why do you always play yourself when you could just be doing, like, crazier shit? Like, well, like, way harder shit that you could make look easy. You know what I mean?
Like when Robin Williams does drama, or did drama.
I have never seen a drama from him because
You ever seen, like, Good Will Hunting?
No, I don't want to watch a drama with him in it because it would probably just make me sad. I've heard this so many times, and I'm like, dude, if I ever watched one of his drama movies, it's probably going to be so perfect it'll probably just, ruin movies for me for the rest of my life.
There's this really good one I watched where he's like a teacher, an English teacher, and he has like a passion for poetry, but he like never gets noticed for that. And his son is like a complete scumbag, like super unhygienic and like perverted to all hell, and he ends up trying to do erotic asphyxiation, and he kills himself, and says, he finds him dead, and he's like, oh shit, and he like stages it so it looks like a suicide, and not like he's just jacking off, and then he like takes his journal and starts writing like all this deep shit in it, and then like everybody's like, gets all depressed because they're like, oh, he was actually like misunderstood.
Jesus.
And it's like, nah, he's just a scumbag.
Is Good Will Hunting? I haven't heard about that movie in like a long time, but I remember it was big. Is that really as good of a movie as everybody says it is?
I like it a lot.
Okay.
Got what's his name? Ben Affleck, and I forget who else.
Well, as long as Ben Affleck isn't Batman, I'm sure he'll do great.
He wrote it, I guess, too.
Oh, sick. Okay. Yeah, I don't know like why, that. Man. I just don't like Ben Affleck as Batman. It bothers me. I don't know why.
I don't know. I don't think I've watched too much Ben Affleck.
He has a movie called The Accountant that's like insane. It's fucking pretty badass. You should watch it. Anyway, back to the movie though. After 2 years imprisonment in Frozen Revel's End, Edgin and Holga escape to Neverwinter and learn Forge has become Lord thereafter. Its prior Lord was mysteriously incapacitated. He has been taking care of Kira, convincing her that Edgin's greed led to his arrest. It is revealed that Sophia is a red wizard, and together they orchestrated Edgin and Holga's capture. So yeah, it's basically just telling you the whole backstory that those con artists were, essentially. So yeah. Just to gain power and whatever the fuck. Sophia orders Edgin and Holga's execution, but they escape and decide to rob Forge's vault and bring Kira home during the upcoming High Sun Games. Needing the tablet to prove their innocence to Kira and resurrect Edgin's wife, Edgin and Holga track down Simon to help. With his help, the group also recruits Dork, a druid whose forest community is fighting forest logging ordered by Forge.
Yeah, I like the whenever they were talking to her, because they're like, he's like, well, what do you guys offer? She asks like the bard that, and he's like, well, I make the plans. And he's like, well, we already got the plan, so what use are you? He's like, well, if the plan has to change, then I can make a new plan. And she's like, so you make plans that fail?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I love that little turnabout. And then she was just For some reason, she chooses to be with them because, like, they're fighting her people or being, like, their land's being taken by those people, so she decides to help them as a different way to try something new because what they're trying is not working to fighting them back.
Yeah, I like the scene where all those people are going after her too. That's pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, she's like transforming a bunch.
Yeah, transforms into an eagle and like flies out the window, dives down to a rat, to a deer, jumping all through the city, getting chased down. That was fucking sick.
Yeah. That was probably kind of forced that she's like transforming as much as she did.
Yeah. Yeah, normally that would well, that's what Sean was saying. He was like, yeah, because Sean is our DM in our D&D game, and he was just straight up like, you can't transform. You'd have to be a god to transform that many times like that, like in actual D&D. So it's like one of those things, you know. We'll get to comments like that though later on. I don't know. There was a lot of shapeshifting, and it wasn't like terrible or anything. But dude, the dragon people look retarded.
Yeah,
they're so out of place because they look like they're from the Dark Crystal.
Yeah, they look kind of okay, like serviceable, but then they start talking, and it looks like they're just puppets moving their heads up and down, so their jaw flaps.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. But it is funny.
Cat people looked weird too.
I don't remember the cat people.
There's that giant fish that ate the baby cat person.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that was they're introducing like what I think is a GM NPC, which is just like usually a badass character that just comes along and kind of like holds the party's hand in the story.
Oh, that fucking the knight dude, the paladin.
Yeah, he's like
okay,
perfect as shit. Yeah. That was hilarious.
Yeah, we'll get there. After shapeshifting into a fly, Doric infiltrates Forge's castle and finds the vault has magical defenses from Mordenkainen, which Simon cannot disable. He believes the magic relic, the Helm of Disjunction, could help. And the group travels to a graveyard to ask Holga's ancestors where to find it. Simon resurrects the dead with a talisman long enough for them to answer the group's questions. The corpses reveal they gave the helm to Zenik Yandar, a paladin who fled. They, his country, when wizard Sazaz Tam turned Thanis into an undead army. Oh my god, dude. So many weird-ass words.
I thought it was pretty funny when they were, like, digging up, like, random caskets. And they went on, like, this long thing of, like, oh, this guy was passed it to this guy, and then passed it to this guy. And then they get, like, some random dude, and he's like, I was getting out of the bath, and I slipped and hit my head. They're like, then you got up and went to battle? Like, no, I died.
Yeah, it's a montage of so the joke is speak with dead, you can only in D&D you can only ask 3 questions and then they die or whatever, and that's how it works in this movie. So it's a montage of people being led by other people, and a montage in like behind that over top of it, like showing these people who had the crown passing it off, dying through a battlefield. Like, and it's like a 5-minute sequence, and it's just fucking awesome. So you got like 2 montages going at the same time. It's cool. Yeah.
The effects on the undead is pretty cool too. They get like these glowing eyes and stuff, and one of them's like cut in half.
Yeah. After forcing Edgin to swear to distribute any gained bounty to the people, Zanuck guides the group through the Underdark to retrieve the helm. With the help of a teleportation staff obtained by Holga's halfling ex-husband, they find the relic but are attacked by Thayan assassins sent by Safina. Zanuck fights them off and helps the group escape from the Abyss Red Dragon, Thember Chawd, before departing.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, let's go through all this. So, we have another thing where we have to go to Helga's... Helga is a barbarian woman, and it's the Rodriguez chick, who's, like... Yeah, not like a normal chick, but anyway. And she goes to meet her halfling ex-husband or some shit, and he's like half their size, so it's like the super awkward thing. And now he has another girlfriend, and like we just do that for a little bit. And it's just awkward conversation just to get information and shit. So yeah.
What did you I don't know about the staff, like if that's an actual D&D thing, but how they visually represented it with the lines going through it when it like transformed. That's like shit, what was that Disney movie where they had, is it something for Atlantis or some shit?
Yeah, Atlantis.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then like the portal things that shot out looked like Portal. Like if one of them was red or orange or whatever, then it would just be Portal.
Yeah, 100%. I guarantee you that's something you could get in D&D though.
Probably.
Like 100%. Like especially if you're doing Homebrew. Homebrew you can do whatever the fuck you want. So
they used it pretty cool too. Like they covered it, did with a picture, and then they covered the they had to sneak it onto a wagon, and they hammered the shit out, and then flipped the portal over, and then hammered it back on, and covered the portal with a picture so nobody thought it was anything.
Yeah, they did like a whole big plan deal. Which is like, this movie has like, it has just fun roleplay in it that like people would do. That is some shit that people would do in D&D, which is pretty badass. That's why D&D is so much fun, because whenever you can just do whatever the fuck you want, like it's a free for all. So,
there's usually some railroading because like it is a game and it has a point. Like if you can't just dick around completely. Like, you can't be like, oh, I'm gonna go, or I hear these horror stories of people making characters where they're like, oh, my character wouldn't go on adventures. They want to stay home and open up a bar. It's like, what the fuck? We're not playing that game, bro.
No, that's not what we're here for. Just go play The Sims, man. Chill. Yeah, they go down to like this fucking lava place, and this fucking dragon comes out, and he's super fat, and there's just a giant thing of them running away from the dragon until I forget how they killed him. Oh yeah, the dragon like chased him into a fucking hole, and they broke out of it and swam to the top of the ocean or some shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure me and Sean have talked about this before, or I've heard about it. They, in like worlds like this, that fantasy worlds that exist for a long period of time, the people who like these types of things are obviously going to be more nerdy, and so they're more inclined to think about all kinds of random shit to make sense to them. And dragons have like a gland in them that produces like gas or some shit. Yeah, and they like pissed off the dragon by hitting it in the face, and then it's like starts hissing at them and blowing out its gas, and they like light a torch, duck in the chamber they're in's filling with water, so they duck under the water and then put the torch up in the mouth and blows up, and then they escape that way.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't think they just, like, kind of broke out and left, but I couldn't remember.
I love that fucking dude. Whenever it tried to fly and how it's like, there's these flat platforms hanging from chains, and it's like trying to crawl up the side of them and shit. It's hilarious.
Did you notice that it never walked, it only, like, slid?
Yeah. Slid, crawled, and shit, just kind of wobbled its legs back and forth and moved like inch close to shit.
Yeah. And just like, sometimes it would just straight embrace it, like, not Naruto run, but Naruto slide and just like aerodynamically make itself like slide down shit. So weird. Yeah, How to Train Your Dragon, they make references to that too. The
Oh, nice.
The dragon creates the gas. I can't wait for that live action to come out. I'm never a fan of live actions like that, but like How to Train Your Dragon, I don't think you can really fuck that up. Like, it's pretty strong.
Oh yeah, I've got an ad for that actually on IMDb. That and The Legend of Ochai, and which I'm kind of looking forward to.
For which one?
Lilo and Stitch.
I'm looking forward to that and How to Train Your Dragon. Were you a Stitch fan?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I watch the cartoon and shit all the time.
Dude, the cartoon is awesome, isn't it? Nobody ever remembers.
Yeah.
I love it. It's like, let's just see what all kinds of fucking monsters we can make.
Yeah, they had all the Stitch's cousins.
Yeah. What was it? 625 cousins, right?
There's a lot of them.
Yeah. Because he was like the final one, quote unquote. I don't know. But anyway, Simon has trouble mastering the helm's power. This is after they wash up on the beach after escaping. So they decide to use the staff to enter the vault during the games. Simon and Holga infiltrate the vault, but find the room empty except for a magical trap. Safina, disguised as Kira, subdues Ejin. The group is captured and forced to participate in the games, but escapes the stadium. Doric discovers Forge has loaded the treasure onto a boat and is preparing to flee. The group steals the boat for themselves and rescues Kira from the Forge. Yeah, he just keeps on putting on this helmet and visiting his ancestor, and like then he gets kicked across the fucking beach by like a force push.
Yeah, his ancestor like says he's worthless and he's not worthy, and he like agrees with him, so he gets like booted.
Yeah. Essentially, he just has to keep trying and trying and trying, like one of those kind of deals. They go into a vault, like I said, magical trap. People are disguised as other people. Basically, it just all comes down to exactly what the description says. The group steals the boat for themselves and rescues Kira from the Forge. It's just basically a whole bunch of people running around doing random shit, and then that happens. Like a big plan thing, right? Isn't that what it was? That was just like they made a plan and then did it, and it was a montage again?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I figured. Don't get me wrong, it is fun, but like there's a lot to talk about from all that. So you should just go watch it. As they escape, the group realizes Safina organized the games to draw a massive crowd and turn them into an undead army using the curse that destroyed Thay. The group returns, transporting Forge's stolen riches out of the boat with the teleportation staff and spreading them across the city by hot air balloon, drawing people out of the stadium before Safina's spell takes effect. Okay, so there was a flashback earlier in the movie where that place called Thay got destroyed. These red wizards that they're talking about made like this giant death tribute, and it basically destroyed what, like a city or a realm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, our perfect paladin character was there and he escaped, and he recants the story.
Okay. So basically they wanted everybody at these games that was in this giant stadium. Everybody was there. That was the biggest thing. So they were going to do it again there and take over Baldur's Gate, because that's where that place was. Baldur's Gate is like I don't know, the center point of D&D, basically. It's always talked about. It's always, like, it's either there, or
It was,
when it's not, it's always talked about. Like, yeah. Always
what was the city they were in again? It was like Winter something, right?
Neverwinter.
Okay. Yeah, Neverwinter.
Oh, maybe we were in maybe they're in Neverwinter and not Baldur's Gate. I swear I thought they were in Baldur's Gate, though. Because, like, they went there.
They had, like, a rich dude from there coming there or some shit. Or being an
okay, that's where I'm getting confused on. Yeah. But anyway, Neverwinter is also, like, a big deal, too. Just not as big as Baldur's Gate, so whatever. But anyway, yeah, they grab all their fucking treasure and start throwing it off hot air balloons, getting everybody to run outside the stadium so that shit won't happen. Enraged at her failure, Sophia attacks the group. Simon nullifies her time stop spell, allowing Kira to use the invisibility pendant Elgin and Holga gave her as a child to place an anti-magic bracelet on Sophia. Although the group manages to incapacitate Sophia, Holga is fatally injured. Elgin uses the tablet to bring her back to life, realizing he wanted to bring back his wife only for his own sake, while Holga had become a true part of their family. Doric expresses being open to a relationship with Simon.
As soon as I seen Olga sitting there with this knife sticking out or whatever, I was like, oh, he's using the talisman.
Yeah. Restored, the old lord of Neverwinter declares the team heroes of the realm. Xenix sends Forge to Revel's End, where he fails to escape as Edgen and Holga did when his pardon was denied. Yeah, I thought it was a good movie.
I thought the movie's gonna end like several times beforehand. Like, when they were going on the ship, I thought that was gonna be the end, and then they revealed the part where it's like, oh, the Red Witch is gonna do the ritual again.
Really? You thought it was gonna end there? Crazy.
Yeah, I didn't think the Red Witch was gonna have anything to do or whatever. But they had.
She was like the real Final Fantasy final boss. It's like, here's the big bad, and it's like, oh, you thought that was the big bad. It's me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then the scene with him in the prison seemed more like a post-credit scene or something. And
didn't you say there was supposed to be like a sequel or something?
Yeah. I think there was going to be a TV show.
Oh. Fuck that.
Yeah, a flagship with a TV show.
I was just wishing I'd rather than make a second one with the same cast.
How do you think about the, I think it's a, reference to the Hulk. Whenever she turns into the owlbear and beats, Sophia up.
Oh, where he's just like slamming him. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Hulk and Loki.
Yeah, that's definitely, that's hilarious. Let's read some like reviews from Rotten Tomatoes, and we'll go with that. Based on the popular role-playing game, this is an entertaining Friday night watch that will vanish from your head by Saturday morning. I don't know about all that, man. I've watched it. I don't rewatch movies, and I've rewatched it 3 times in the past year.
It was more fun than I thought it would be. Like, the spell stuff was cool. Like, at the beginning when they introduced, did you say his name was Simon?
Yeah.
He does, like, some, reverse gravity spells and shit. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. This movie does that thing that certain movies do, where, you know how, in most movies, you're watching it and you don't feel like it's on a set or anything like that. Well, this movie, I watch it and constantly I'm like, this is on like a set.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody, it doesn't seem like ingrained into the picture correct. I don't know. I've seen that happen a few times and it's just strange to me. It's usually with like live action films and shit. It does that to me. You know what I mean? Like, this is clearly, like, a movie. It's like I'm not getting into the experience. I can just tell it's a movie. But like this one, I'm into the experience, but I can tell like we're actors and we're doing a movie. I don't know. It's kind of strange. I don't know what to think about that. You know.
I
What's that?
But I enjoyed this movie a lot.
Yeah, so did I.
It was fun.
Yeah, it just
Not like,
I like look at it. It's just like the way it looks. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. It's not like Oscar winner or anything. It's not like deep.
Yeah.
But it's meaningful enough. It hits some beats that it has to, and it has good effects for the most part, except for like we said with the animal people.
Yeah. I mean that person was from the UK that just made that comment. Just saying.
Oh.
Oh.
I thought you were just saying that's what really animal people. They're British. Like, whoa, dude.
Oh no. Well, I'm just saying they don't. It just seems like they don't share the same kind of comedy that we like over here.
Oh yeah.
You know, they like dry comedy.
They got more. Yeah.
But I love dry comedy, so I ain't hating. Here's another one. Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez have a terrific buddy movie chemistry in a fantasy film that defies balances, high stakes action, warm drama, and clever comedy. I think that's pretty agreeable.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like I said, with some of the comedy parts, they're well written. I enjoyed them.
Yeah, the actors mesh well together, so that's very, very good. The camp tone is tongue-in-cheek and family-friendly. More Shrek than Assassin's Creed. Homage and affectionate parody in equal parts. I think that's a perfect description of the movie. Like, you know what I mean?
The one chick was a tiefling, the druid chick.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I always thought tieflings had like red skin and stuff like that.
I have no idea.
She just had the horns.
Yeah. Honor Among Thieves is the work of filmmakers who understand the best way to take stuff like this seriously is not to take it seriously at all, which is exactly what D&D is, and to have fun with it. Other movies could learn from the example. Yeah. There's really like not a lot of bad reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, here's a fun one. It's a blizzard of rubbish lurching from one barely explained magical gizmo or beast to another so quickly that none of it has any impact whatsoever. That's a blizzard of rubbish. So.
I don't know. I don't think it's a blizzard of rubbish.
I'm pretty sure that like the people are gonna see this movie are people that play or want to play or know something about D&D. So if you don't understand, it's because you don't play D&D. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, but that's their fault. They should have explained it better. So like, I can kind of get that. And what was it? You said that her husband gave her the staff, the teleportation staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't remember that happening. I thought it was just some random thing she had in her bag. Because she was like, let's see what I got, and let's see what we can... Our bard dude was like, let's pull out what we got so we can try to make a plan. And then the sorcerer sees that, and he's like, oh, that's a teleportation staff.
Yeah, it is kind of like Skippy on it. Here's another fun one. The film's tone keeps changing, skipping from light to dark to kinky, which feels right, as opposed to jarring, because the central characters have proper emotional hinterlands. Okay. I don't know about kinky, but, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a PG movie. Doesn't really show much, I don't think, though.
No.
But, I don't know. I guess it does, because there's no, like the one chick gets stabbed, and there's not, like, cussing.
No, not really. No.
Yeah.
Here's my favorite ones. Video games make lousy movies, right? Not this time. Thanks to Chris Pine and a cast of merry pranksters, especially Hugh Grant, and a chubwub dragon, the big screen D&D cuts through the digital chaos to create a goofball fantasy even a non-gamer can love. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, a lot of games.
They do make bad movies.
Oh, yeah. Well, people try to do, they try to do the game story, and the game story is more impactful because it's a game, and you get to actually be the characters as opposed to watching them.
Yeah, it's being lazy is what it is. Like, I'm not gonna write my own, thing. I'm just gonna make a deal with this studio and just do whatever with it, and everybody's gonna watch it one time and hate it, and we're gonna be done, and we're gonna make a bunch of money just because everybody watched it for that first week.
Yeah, and we'll put Jack Black and Jason Momoa in it.
Whoa. That movie wasn't bad, but that movie is another perfect example. When you watch it, you can tell it's on a set. It's one of those deals. Yeah. I don't know, man. I hate when that happens.
Stuff looks like Minecraft. In Minecraft movie. It looked creepy and
it's
kind of.
It's like AI Minecraft.
Yeah.
It's like how you see an AI picture of not a real person. It's like that, but Minecraft.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad movie though. It was. It's not a good movie, but it's one of those ones where if you watched it, you're not gonna be mad that you watched it. You're just gonna be like, oh well, I'll forget about that by tomorrow. So, you'll have fun.
So, did you ever see the Lego movie?
No, I didn't. Did you?
I always hear about, that being the pinnacle of, family entertainment.
See, I always get the reference of Shrek. That's, my thing. I don't know.
What do you mean?
I always hear people, talk about, how much them and their kids just fucking love Shrek. That's always what I hear as the pinnacle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, with, having, a movie that's about, a toy or a video game or something like that. Yeah. Where they, utilized actual Lego pieces and actual, whatever the fuck people that professionally create shit out of Legos are called.
I have no idea.
They actually use them with the CGI artists to make, all this shit, work perfectly and, actually look like Legos.
Yeah. I have no idea. I just call them Lego Masters. Some shit.
Lego Masters.
The Block Master.
I was thinking, engineer.
That works, yeah. Yeah. I didn't have a problem with this movie. Did you have anything you wanted to say that you didn't like? My whole thing is
really?
Yeah, wasn't bad at all. So everybody should go out there and watch that if you haven't yet. It's fun. Join our Discord. You could end up in a D&D game with us. Be crazy. So
I don't promise anything.
I'm not promising nothing. I'm saying you could. It's a possibility, but it may be impossible possibility.
Yeah.
It just depends on our DM and how many people we got. It's crazy out there.
Yeah, so I'm not sitting around while fucking 8 other people play.
Yeah, we've done that before. Alright, well, everybody, we'll catch you later.
Adios, muchachos.